Right on time.
Alright. You got Darren?
First budgeting. I lowered 4 different line items. You can see, pro services, like quite a bit out of it.
When you say pro services, what do you mean?
Oh, that's for consulting, water well testing, and contractual stuff. And tires, I'm pretty good on tires. So, kind of trips with that all day.
It's good.
Spec wrap.
What's your solid waste disposal fees?
That's for stuff that goes to
Oh, okay. Like iron and stuff like that?
No, it's the trash that might get around.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Darren, do you charge for tires?
Yes.
Then we in turn have to pay that.
Yes.
Do they still go,
They go around resource management.
then they used to go to Concordia, then they go to out in this city or someplace, the tires?
Brown out Shredden, it's underground school.
Been done for years, I would think. Yeah.
There's only one other place here in the state that you know, it's Champion Tire.
Yeah.
Their cost is, it's probably cost of it.
Because they're the one that makes the park benches, and
Park benches and
tables and stuff like that.
Road mulch and,
Yeah.
More expensive than the home effort.
There was a place out at the airport that was getting ready to do something, I don't know if they ever got going, recycle tires. That wasn't going to do that, I think.
And then they get all those little pieces of steel out of that little mulch.
I don't.
They don't get it all.
Champion sent me before samples, stuff, what they make. Rubber mulch, being a couple something, so it's very expensive. But you see that goes right along the side of the water. Apparently they must,
And you grind off that side once you get.
they go around the bead area and use that, I guess. It's required, they just use that part.
Yeah.
They, you deliver to the tractor. Could we go in executive session for about 5 minutes? Yes.
I know we'll go to executive session, Aaron, the board, we needed 5 minutes for no
Second.
We have a motion and a second for a 5-minute executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Second. We have a motion and a second to accept the tax rule corrections. All in favor? Motion passes. All right, Mike.
I'm going to make a motion to accept the minutes of May 15th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the minutes of the May 15th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Wish we had more people. Next.
And you got this copy as of yesterday, or as of yesterday? The tax roll, or the tax,
Tax bill, I gave you a new tax bill list.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you were talking about. I was like, what?
I gave them a copy, I got that big.
Just of
copy
who's
prepared.
paid.
Mhm. So,
Actually, quite a few people.
Pretty,
That always happens.
There's a number of people I'm a little surprised, but that's great.
Is that really good? That's not the salary. Does that include some of the?
cities,
Part
a third of cities.
All right.
So-
Oh, yes.
1/3.
have we established a date?
I don't know 100% for sure. I can double check on that. I don't,
So how much of that is?
So we'll have to publicize it?
we've already done that.
Oh, we
We
have.
have ways to figure that out.
So all we have to do is a date.
They have an answer period from the end of publication.
Yeah.
City salary. Their application gets so much.
It is, it comes from 3 different spots, well, actually 5 different spots.
Yeah.
So we've got it all set up in there.
So we started with 60 some, or we went down to 30.
And it'll probably go down about another 10 or 15. But like you said, that's the one I'm kind of curious about is Julian.
South of there. Or, along that's. Because they keep saying they're doing it, but they are.
It's been a couple months ago when I talked to his mother, and she said she was not.
Not
Then
10,000,
I
about
keep
11,000.
hearing rumors that she is, so
And see, that
That'd be
also
nice.
includes any, like when the guys go out there and help him, work crew. That's not all.
Yeah, so he's not
Then
making
there's-
760. You would have to put the bank together, they do.
It's Marshall's.
One thousand.
You were out on that property?
They had some vehicles as an interest. A lot of things there. Everything but
There's somebody out there.
Well, there is, but he doesn't want to come in.
Who?
Marshall. He wants to talk to her. So what's the status on the health department?
I don't know. I don't know anything. And I was just trying to get bids. She had Abby come look at it and,
Well, there was a,
but I don't know.
well, the reason I ask is because there was some concern about putting some asphalt in that top.
There's what?
Asbestos.
Asbestos.
Okay.
I said,
I don't know. I haven't talked to Shannon. I don't know.
We don't need to make a trip down.
I think it was like a microburst. That's, it was an open-ended whole shed and it just gave it up. Okay, Ashley had talked to you guys about, an event, well, I'll just let you guys read that.
Oh, Saturday.
You want to do
I'm
it
Friday.
Friday?
It's changed. Okay.
Yeah.
We skipped.
Rob has a budget, Mike has his budget ready, I've got budgets ready. We've got time to kill here, so you wanna go?
Sure.
And Rob has other things he needs to tell you too. Yes, you do. I'm gonna nag you. I am gonna nag you.
You walked behind me yesterday when you called me, you were all out of breath. And you said, "We're away," I thought, "Courthouse." She was all out of breath, I thought, "I better sit down here."
Yeah.
And she was all out of breath. There was actually, on the budget, I was trying to figure out exactly like a 1.4% increase. It's for dispatching. We're gonna have an opening, supposedly come up in the summer, but the starting pay is so low for dispatching for what they have to do. We'll try to really get it up to really comparable to the other departments around the country because we're way below Greenville County and other counties here that
Is that your total dispatcher pay or just their starting pay?
it's all their pay. I mean, all my dispatchers right now are maxed out. I mean, they've been there that long, but still they're only making like $15 where they handle every emergency call that comes in, regardless if it's fire, EMS, or law enforcement. And they shouldn't pay it according to what kind of duties they perform. So that's the reason there's just a slight increase on theirs to hopefully cover it up to where it's a little more comparable, so we don't lose. You can retain what I've got, because it's hard, it's almost as hard to be a dispatcher as it is an officer.
Yeah.
We test it, and they don't make it very, you don't hire. We've had several that just don't test very well. Chris, he's
Which one's a year?
She works nights, is the reason you know.
Yeah.
And you really don't get to survive people that much. She does.
She'll be all right.
Oh, yeah, she is. She's really, really lucky to get her. And she's very much good. She's not super original while she did. Not yet, but
It's probably very much used in out there before. That's the one change in your budget.
that's the only change. Not sure.
I know from,
Because of the unknown overseas. Just have no idea.
the actual expense in 18, budget in 19, down here on the bottom, like office equipment, computer equipment. From 18 was zero to the actual expense for the 19 budget was, you just kind of keep the budget at 5,000. And if you don't buy the office equipment or computer equipment, you just
That's a
roll that
capital
over.
outlay.
Yeah, transfer. Because so much of my budget is just unknown.
Yeah.
Especially in prison expense.
I don't think anybody's gonna complain about that right now. Heavily lights I hear, we give up on people. They got arrested there and walked through.
They make bond. Unfortunately, it aggravates us too, because we spend more time doing paperwork than they can spend locked up.
And we try to use the ankle monitors as much as we can too, to kind
The
of.
ones that have jobs, and they just, certain ones just do stupid things, and they have to pay the price for it, so they've got jobs, and then we try to get them on as we can.
Well, some people need to be locked up.
Some people
you
do.
just kind of got to keep a thumb on
So
them.
they show up, right? Yeah.
So we bought those what last,
They're not out doing anything else.
we bought those last year or year before, and I think we used them quite a bit. I think they were good.
I believe I,
Two?
Six.
That's it.
since I thought.
That would, maybe my office paid for two and you paid for four, so anyway.
And you charge them what they do, what's that you charge them?
15 a day?
Yeah, something like that.
So then you can, during the day, they can go in and You work or
We can
whatever, but
separate
then
it.
it alerts you if they leave their house.
Sure.
Yeah, well, it's dispatch.
You can set up a room where they're not allowed out of a certain area. Where people say the house, you can't quite get that small out here. Maybe in bigger cities you can, I don't know, but here we're not able to get that small. We can get a block where you can see your house.
They don't
Smaller.
listen to that.
And we don't tell them,
Yeah.
so. We've used them on everything, but one person we had on the ankle monitoring, we put it on him because we couldn't really have him. His medical expenses, his meds were like $5,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just couldn't. He was just taking time off, so we put him in there, had him on the ankle monitoring, and it was a good thing because before his trial came up in sentencing, he went and killed himself on the river, and that's how we found him. It was our ankle monitoring. So, he was guilty to what he did and stuff, and he didn't want to do the time, so without him killing himself, so but the ankle monitoring is what dragged us to him, because the lawyer said he had left his where he was supposed to be already. We were trying to find him, and then we didn't want to do that. So
Normally have one or two of them in use all the time.
it depends on the caseload right now. Right now, we don't have any use right now, but they don't cost us anything. We basically recover all of our costs and maybe something a little bit after because it's $3-4 a day after we monitor one person. Unless we're monitoring someone, it doesn't cost us anything.
We have to borrow them from our green.
And we got, you know, we got especially we got juveniles, juveniles, and
So we know where he's at.
so. Pretty good.
You want one fresh?
Yeah, we get those cubes.
What's that?
Okay, she's not the only one. I had to go in the hospital the other day and have some testing done. Because next Wednesday I'm going to be on hospital for 6 weeks. I have temperature in my chest and I have collapsed. And my heart. So,
It's next Wednesday.
yeah, they already said that.
Good.
Well,
Good.
that quick, they must be at least.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they wait.
If I have another one, it'll be my last one. And I didn't even know I had the first one. I know when it happened, but if I have another one, they say it'll be the last.
Where would you be sent?
I'll be Kansas Park Hospital. So, it's not something I'm looking forward to, but
No, we'll think about it.
so you feel better now?
I think usually people feel better after they have it done.
Well,
More energy.
she's been, I had postponed it because
Work-wise.
they wanted to do it like the next day and I postponed it already because of different things I had to do.
Because you're too busy.
Well, I need to get this and I have another thing.
Don't get many foot pursuits.
No, I've already been told I'm not allowed to do anything like that. So, yeah, it sneaks up on night when you least expect it. All right, that's all I have unless you have anything else for me.
No, let's go home and rest.
Well, I'm gonna, I'll be around to answer calls and things like that, so it's fine and stuff. They talk like within 4 weeks, I might be able to come and just do paperwork and stuff as long as I don't do anything. Answering calls,
Didn't have a house.
getting out done. We had a chance for one of our officers to go to the academy sooner, but this kind of put a damper on stuff. He was going to go the 1st of June, and so now but he's not going to go until he hold on, just so he don't get too low.
What day are you doing? Which one?
What day are you? I have to go in next Tuesday at 3 and have it, and it's procedure 7:30 next morning. They want me in it in advance, so I just watch it.
I think they would show you how much you drink and how
Oh,
much you
yeah.
eat and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure I sneak from my mouth.
Hey,
That's
put an
what
ankle bracelet on.
Yeah, no, my wife is worse than me. She is not letting me do anything or get away anywhere right now. So
chain is starting to shake.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah. So, unless you have anything else, that's all I need.
I don't think we're up.
Good luck to you.
We're thinking about you.
That's what we got.
You gonna be downstairs?
Yeah.
They have a little deal, it's like $30. We bought it for the toys, but they lose their car keys. It's about a little inch cube, and once you set it up, you can bring it up onto your phone, and it'll tell you wherever that's at. Like if you lose your car keys, and it'll,
You put it on your car keys?
yeah, you can put it on there. You put it
I
in
need
your
to
kid's
put it on my
pocket,
reading
your
glasses
phone.
because
Put it on your phone?
Yeah, it's like a little, it's about an inch square and about that thick, and it's gray, it's called a cube.
Magnetic or?
It's got a little hole in one corner.
where do you find it at?
Probably
Where do
My
you buy
Amazon.
wife, my wife.
Amazon.
Online?
Yeah, probably online.
My daughter did some of that, man. She
Like Tanner loses his keys all the time in college, and so she put it on his little lanyard. You just bring up your phone screen, and it'll show right where it's at. Down to like 10 foot. And then once you get within so close to it, you can push the deal on your phone, and it'll make it start going beep. Cube. That's what it's called.
You want to do your budget?
My daughter could use 4 or 5 keys for
I don't think my budget changed. I think last year I came in under and, well, I had a 2-day termination trial last week that I had to bring a doctor and 4 nurses for and there's some travel expenses for them, but otherwise, nothing really changed.
That's pretty painless.
Do you have any kind of capital outlay fund? So when he doesn't spend his money,
It just rolls over. He's in contract. We could, I mean,
well, I mean, it's kind of whatever you guys think.
uh,
Wearing, you may want to do that.
I mean, these department heads just have to let me know.
Yeah.
And I don't pursue them. They need to know.
I would think that, I mean, just let it roll back into the general fund. You know, if you have $10,000 or $15,000, like capital outlay fund, you buy your best, top year.
How would you call it? Copy.
Yeah, really.
Really, yeah, it's not bad.
The roof over the annex is leaking. Went over there yesterday and talked to Ashley about something and walked by and heard it dripping. So it's trash can under it. I don't know, can we have that thing coated with something? It just leaks in different spots, it seems like.
Was it at the peak?
I
Was
don't
it
know.
the center of the building? No?
Yeah, it was up on the stage, probably. I don't know anything about it. Huh?
It's a metal.
No, it's
Metal.
elastoplast. It was a metal roof in the beginning.
And I know
Yeah, we-
Teresa has told me it just leaks in random spots, I think.
It needs to be recoated.
Okay, maybe we can have to do that.
There used to be a guy in Stafford that did the union, whatever, 10 years ago.
Yeah. There's a company in Great Bend, there's a company in El Dorado.
When they
And
did
it's,
it,
it's spray on.
when they did it, the logs, they went in there and they retightened all the screws on the tin, and then shot it.
Who was it that did that?
That was the guy that used to live in Stafford. And he moved away for a long time.
Those guys are big busy now. Good job.
We need to get on a list.
I don't think those roads are expensive.
Did they do anything to that roof when we
When we
remodeled?
remodeled, they
Did
went
they-
in there, the specs were that they were to go in and buff off the rust off the screws, and treat the screws, and then put down this layer of elastoplast. It's a latex, you know, insulating, it's white, they spray it on. And they're on Washington Street, I'll get it. And then there's one in El Dorado. And it's,
Is that always leak in the same spot though?
I don't think so, I need to ask Teresa.
All right.
Because this was up on the stage, and I know it's leaked before down in the room part. But I wonder if it isn't
Falling.
in the middle.
It's
there was
probably
one time
falling,
it
so-
leaked in the middle, and it was because of the cap on the peak. It filled in with leaves and stuff. And wicked under the cap. But if it's leaking in other areas, then it needs, it's been 10 years.
So,
And there's been hail. We never had to look at that, right? I'll get it, I'll find it this afternoon.
if it was in the same location, you could probably
Yeah,
find where it's
this
coming
one,
from, but
the
if it-
very first one was in the exact center of the community.
Well, this one yesterday was up on the stage in the center. Well, the trash can still probably stuck in there.
But that doesn't mean it's right above it where it's.
No.
I'll get those names and,
The Prairie Chapel Cemetery out there is full of sandburrs, and Nick doesn't want to mow it anymore because of the sandburr issue. Being
Nick.
Oh.
He's gonna mow it, since he gave me short notice, he said he would have it mowed for Memorial Day. I asked Ryan if he could spray it, well, he's gonna spray it Monday, and we all know what Monday's like. So, I don't know what to do. Something to think
I'm
about.
sure no
He
one
doesn't.
fires.
Well, I don't think it ruins them, but they have to pick all the tires off, the stickers off their tires before they go mow the other yards of town. They don't want to bring them in, and he said they spend a lot of time doing that, it's just not worth it.
surprised he didn't say anything.
Well, I
I
told
see him.
Okay, well,
Once, at
we
least once a
called,
week.
last Thursday.
That's what it needs, is just to be sprayed.
But I don't know, I think Ryan's gone this week.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's too late to spray, I don't know.
Are the sandburrs out already?
I don't know.
I wonder if it's good hits or sanders.
Nick said sanders, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep, I
Weapons
told
probably
Ryan we
still
need to get that sprayed. So,
We gotta spray it. If he doesn't want to do it, there's a couple of people who do lawn service.
They use advanced certifieds.
It's gonna change hands. I don't think they're doing as good a job as they used to. I'm not very pleased with mine.
They do the wash, lines, or something.
One of the rookies are gone.
I have budgets that I do. I'm gonna go ahead and go through them.
Yep.
What did you tell them when you called me?
I just went upstairs.
Okay. That's that fault.
Other copies from the same.
Yeah, there's, the hand everybody
Oh,
there.
God.
Okay,
Well, it was a treat to go out there and see 15 people looking for working.
They cleaned it up pretty good.
yeah. Okay, the first budget is your budget, I didn't change it. some of the money around. You guys typically run the same. My budget, I kept the same. And again, I try to keep it that so I can transfer money in, so when my election goes down. Get the replacement. Courthouse general's the next one, I kept it the same. We run pretty good on everything. I kept the mobile equipment line item the same. I wasn't sure about vehicle purchases from the sheriff's office, what we'd be doing there. Typically down on 45, 31.
Is that the ambulance thing up there? Equipment?
This is for like, because county general always buys the sheriff's vehicle every year, but that one year we bought two. So I just left that in there because we don't know what's going to go on over east. Janitor, she is not projecting any major purchases next year, so I kept her the same. Transfers, we don't know, those are just built in. The technology fund, I did increase it. We have to replace the server next year. Ours is 6 years old, and I mean we're still okay, but Randy would really like to replace it if we could. So it increased $4,000. That server replacement, I'm estimating it to be $9,000. Time we pay for the server and all the software and the labor to do it. Because we have to work with CIC, our computer software, they have to come in and reprogram everything. But it's the brains, we can't run without it.
What's pro services on here?
That is what we pay Randy out of, and we pay the CIC software
So that you, under budget along, what is?
maintenance agreement. Yeah, we just never know. Employee benefits, I left the same. Again, we'll play with that with the numbers, and Melissa gets them in. No, we don't. We just don't know on the insurance and.
That's only every year, right?
And Clay, on this wetlands thing you gave me, they want to consider an annual contribution of $500. That would come out of the appropriations out of the courthouse general. Do you want to do we need to do this year?
No.
Or is that for?
It's for next budget. For
Okay,
next budget.
yeah, we budget 2,000 in appropriations, which would go for like this and any outside thing that would come in and ask for money. So, yeah, this is coming.
And that's those are wetlands?
Yeah,
Wetlands and wildlife scene.
they're not gonna pay for signs and stuff that they used to.
Because it was just like, well, the example is when we got the grant for the turnout gear, you know, had all this money, so we bought things, and now there's no grants, and things are wearing out. But they did say, you know, if you want to relocate these signs out here by the west door and put them in a park or someplace where people could see them, well, a park.
Well, cemetery.
There's probably more out there, more that would see them out there than there would be here.
I'm sure the guy would like to not mow around them, so if they'll move them, that's fine.
Now that,
Who's mowing?
Ray is so great. He's gonna fill in the cracks for the tree. You know, well, the edging, somebody sprayed it for me years ago. He's gonna fix that, so he can wait till the fall, so seed all that in and make it all pretty.
So you have barrier beside
Have you ever looked at the sidewalks?
But I
It was
haven't-
about this much.
I noticed
And
that.
that was 3 janitors ago decided to spray it so she wouldn't have to edge.
I can't believe that.
And it
Hadn't
hasn't
been
been
Must have
back.
put some kind of a soil
I don't
settlement
know.
on there.
Yeah, I can't believe that didn't come back. Because I can edge mine back that far and in a month it's.
I don't know what she did, but
It must have been
it's
something-
probably 3 or 4 inches.
It must have been something
It looks
good.
awful.
I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah.
It looks horrible. And when it rains, it blends up.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It looks rather odd.
okay, Misty's up.
Okay, so when reviewing the budget, there are a few changes that I would like to apply for, I guess. On the salaries, we'll start off with that. We are running short, and so I'd like to request a line item increase to allow for one more full-time EMT with the range step 5, or range 5, step 1, where I started off planning. It's the very first step off, basically. And so I'd have to increase that line item to $240,000 to allow for that one more employee. Back in February, we're running with 3 people right now. So we had 2 actually emergencies happen at the same time. We were going north into the county, me and Brandon were responding to a broken back, possible broken back to a farmer. And then about halfway through, I got a call from dispatch telling me that there was a seizure occurring in Stafford. And we only had 3 people available, so we couldn't roll the second medic unit initially. I was making phone calls flying down the highway. I had made 5 phone calls prior to getting on scene, and nobody was available. Everybody was at work. We did actually have one of our techs that worked over in North Another County that heard that was going on. He called me and said he could grab medic 3. And so I met him, and the seizure was happening at Dr. Farmer's office. So there was a 17-minute delay of us getting on scene to stop the seizure because we were caught up on the call. We didn't have enough personnel to do both emergencies. So that's why I needed another employee. One of the many reasons, actually. But that was the longest 17 minutes of my life. So, and it wasn't exactly the safest, but I had no alternative but to start calling people because we were down. We transported that seizure to Stafford. And the back patient we ended up transporting, I think they took him into Stafford as well.
Over at Stafford, over to the hospital.
Yes. But the north end of the county call went to Stafford as well. The back pain, when I first got on scene, I arrived on scene, I was still on the phone trying to get the other second medic unit to roll. And we ended up doing head to toe on him, and he didn't need me necessarily. And so I took off and met medic 3 over there at Dr. Farmer's office. He now has anti-seizure medication in his office, but, you know, yeah, it just happened, though, that it was at a doctor's office and they were contained. I mean, if it would have been at a patient's house, I mean, that would have been a little bit different. And, of course, the second call is on my mind the entire time as I'm heading because, you know, minutes are, you know, frantic when it comes to a seizure call, so. So when you guys be aware of that, that's what, we have to have 2 people to be able to roll a medic unit. Okay, another thing, the utilities line item, 4310, we went ahead, I was talking to Nita about that. I would go ahead and back out. We were reducing it $1,000 because we were over budget last year, so. The insurance line item, felt like we could take $1,000 out of that as well, because we're pretty under budget there. I went ahead and took $100 out of printing and advertising. We will be having to do protocol books and stuff this year, but we shouldn't use $500 there. I wanted to look at 4364, it's repairs and maintenance, that line item. I had went back and researched how long it had been in the red. In 2016, we were in the red 2350. Medic 2 was a lot of those repairs for the ambulance. We got rid of it, and so we got the new one. So we thought we'd resolved it. The next year we were over $739. That was a lot of the Medic 4 expenses. We started to roll a lot more with Medic 4. We started to have issues with it, but now we've gotten most of that. We thought we got most of that taken care of, but however, this last year we went over $8,000. when it comes to repairs and maintenance. We have older units, and they're starting to, one of them, though, was a power cot issue in Medic 4, and just to get them to come down was a $3,200, I'm sorry, it was $3,200 fix, but for them to come down was $700 of mileage. And we've got 4 of those.
What was that from?
It was just, it was a hydraulic
Now,
issue.
where did they come from?
I want to say Overland Park, I believe Overland Park is where they came out of. But just to come down here was $700, and then for them to fix it was $3,200, and it was a hydraulic issue with that cot. And then also we had, Medic 4 had a leak that we had to take out of county because Jerry, it was too big of a job for him, so we had to ship it out. Medic 3, actually, when we had the rodeo EMS deal over in Stafford, the fire, the big exercise we had a door problem with it, and also where the latching mechanism for the power cot went out on it, so Jerry had to fix it. And then we also had Medic 1 had repairs with, it was out of alignment and had to get new tires. So, I mean, you just can't, I just threw a $10,000 number out there because we were over so much this time. It doesn't have to go a whole 10,000, but 4,500 seems to be not adequate, and we're not getting, these Medic units are getting older. We're not nickel and diming us yet, but we need to look at doing something with that line item, increasing it some. And then also, copier. I did get a quote for the copier. It is 12 years old, and they said the last time they came out about 2 weeks ago, and they came out to repair it. And it is under contract, so all the repairs are inclusive. But they did say next year they're going to have a hard time finding replacement parts for that copier. When I was talking to Marshall, he said that he would be willing to split the cost of a copier within the next year. So this is the quote that I got from him. It's $26.25 is what it's going to cost to replace that. He thought we could get by with the cheaper version of that. So, and then Marshall, like I said, he said that he would replace that for us, or help replace it. So overall, I'd be asking to increase the budget $353,600.
About 300,000. Your total budget is 353.
Yeah, 600, I'm sorry. Yeah, not overall. I'm sorry. Wait, I said that. I guess increasing it from 308,825 to 360.
What doesn't come underneath the cap?
EMS.
So we can do that.
Sheriff,
That's what I thought.
emergency services, anything emergency related.
Certainly higher.
Part of county attorney, Melissa, has found she can take out that because it's law enforcement. She takes that out for the part, it's not his whole budget.
So you're wanting to hire, I'm sure not having Davin, which have we ever got any more applications? If we haven't, do we need to run more ads? We're still figuring on filling that spot, or is this person that replacement?
That would be the replacement for us. Well, I talked to Marshall. He said that he's perfectly fine with him and Pat being part-time with the fire department, but we have to have that fourth person. And so for EMS, it would just be allowing the fourth person for us so we could roll 2 ambulance simultaneously.
So if we hire this person, we're going to work Davin's position.
I don't know.
Because why Davin's position worked is because he was part EMT, part fire. So for replacing his EMT, I don't see how fire can hire
We can't,
a full-time.
we've about given up on finding anybody to do the role. You just gotten that one app and she checked in. So, she's kind of moving in her own direction, and Marshall, I think, he and Pat are working out great, and he's given a lot more responsibility to his station chiefs, and I think they've embraced that. So, we're just gonna,
I just don't want to hire one here and then do same one and this one too. So basically, it's not an increase because we're basically saving the money that we would make that.
It would have to be an increase because we would take down the third of our budget.
yeah. Davin didn't totally all come out of her budget.
Yeah.
It'll be a decrease in the fire, but it'd be an increase in
In
EMS.
EMS.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a wash, but department-wise, hers will increase this year.
Well, we talked about, I mean, the fire slash EMS person, kind of a revolving door. So, I mean, those people continuously seem to leave, and now if we have 4 full EMTs or full EMS, then we don't have to worry about if they go somewhere else, or if we're always short of that one person, it seems like, throughout the years.
Do you have somebody in mind for this position?
I have 3 possibilities that I would like to discuss with you guys, but I'd like to do an executive session.
On your salaries, you know, you want to put one new person on for 28,000 and change, but you increased 40,000?
It's 28, it was, I think it was 30, because initially it was 209, and to allow the 28,825.08, it was going to be 237, something, so I just increased to 240 to allow for like the call time, red time as well for that person, because that's just their office hours, their base salary is 25. So it would be a little bit over, but instead of doing the 27,000 just across the board, we just went ahead and for a cushion, I guess.
So how much time you need?
Oh, I'd say 10 minutes.
Make a motion personnel?
Do you want Mike included?
Oh, you can, that's fine.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session for non-elected personnel with me and Mike and the commissioners for 10 minutes.
Second. Got a motion to second for executive session for non-elected personnel. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Sun shining.
Yes, it is. But there's a lot of water out there.
Really?
Yes, there is. I can cross the entire region, states.
At least 2/3 eastern part of Kansas.
Yeah, we got water there in Garden City too. Drove out to Hamilton, up to Syracuse, Hamilton County yesterday, and they've had quite a bit of rain. I mean, there's just water standing there.
Even in Hamilton?
Yeah.
I looked out there, most of the rains we get 2 inches, they would get 80 others or something.
Yeah.
I figured they were. in
Some of the stuff they're
down
showing on
there.
TV is like, okay, I know we got one out in Garden. I mean, I know we did. Yeah, I don't know. It's as wet as I've seen it.
I didn't figure it was that bad. I figured they were thinking it was perfect out there, but.
I don't think they're getting in the fields right now. I don't think they're able to.
Sometimes out there they like that, so.
Yeah.
because They don't get that very often.
Yeah, we don't. We don't, so. Well, anyway, hey, I'm Mark Hine, President and CEO of SDSI. We're the CDO for 18 counties, and of course, one of those is Stafford County. That's the reason I'm here today. In your packet here, this first page is something that we put in this year. It's one page explanation of who we are, who we serve. We have 1,089 individuals. When we put this together, because you'll see a different number a little bit later, a little bit higher number, and much for a few more individuals. The local finance plan, which is part of what we use this county bill for, as well as the state aid that we get from the state of Kansas, and then what we get from the state of Kansas for CDO administration, and what we also use ourselves to supplement our budget. The second page there is a statute that just explains the relationship between the county, and if any county had asked us, any outside agency is our statute that deals with us and you, and so we supply this to all 18 counties. It just explains the fact that a county can do this, or they can contract with a nonprofit such as SDSI to do this, which you all have done for at least since 2004. When we came over here. The third page here is the 18 counties we serve. The requests that we have, go to the 2020 request there. Stafford, the 36,287, and then you can see the 2019 request what we have for this year, and then what we are receiving from Stafford as well as all the other counties that we serve. Some of the counties have asked us in the past, and we didn't have good information as far as how many people from our county do you serve, or in services. So what we've done is, with the best information we can get out of the state of Kansas is a database, and they did a transition a number of years ago. I don't recall now, 5 or 6 years ago, I believe. So what we show is that Stafford County, we have 13 individuals living here in Stafford County that are in our service system of that 1,089 individuals. And 13 that have this county as their county of origin. I don't know if these are separate numbers because we haven't been able to I don't know if it's 26 or if it's 13 or if it's somewhere in between. Because sometimes we have folks that are receiving services, and I know you do, I know you have some, at least ones are in Natchez waters, as in Barton County, and so I know that there's got to be more than, so we don't have a good handle on it yet. We might be able to drill down a little deeper in the database and come up with that. But I can tell you at least, at a minimum, there are 13 individuals that originate from Stafford County that are in the service system. I know some are receiving services. Page 5 shows you how we use local finance plan money, which again is county meal and state aid in 2018, and then what we have budgeted for this year. That's what we have budgeted to be spent. The next 5 or 6 pages is the local finance plan itself. This is January 1 through June 30th. We do this because we have county mill, which is on a calendar year, and we have state aid, which is on the state fiscal year, July 1 through June 30th. We revisit this thing twice a year. If we need to revise or modify it, we do so. Page 12 has the community service provider in the city in which they're located. And then page 13 has the duties and responsibilities that Southwest Developmental Services Incorporated, the CDO, performs. At the very top, the only thing on this page that has changed since we came over here is the numbers at the top there. We have 1,089 when we put this together in central and southwest Kansas. Approximately 613 that are receiving residential day or annual supports. 310 receive case management home. Most of those folks, I can tell you, will be on the wait list. We'll visit that in just a moment. But what we do as the CDO in our contract with the state of Kansas is we perform the quality assurance reviews. We do that for a little bit over 30% of the individuals that are receiving services. We perform the annual functional assessments. That's required by CMS and KDADS, so we have to do those. We act as a single point of entry, so if someone's seeking eligibility in this system, they come through us. We have an individual and bring in and an individual guard city to do the eligibility and determination. So that's what, and then we act as a gatekeeper also. And that gatekeeper deals with anybody going in and out of a state institution. That doesn't happen very often anymore, but occasionally it does. So if anybody going into for us, we still have folks that go into Larna because we'll have some dual diagnosed individuals. They have intellectual and developmental disabilities. They also have some mental illness that they do. And that's what Larna does. So we do work with Larna, but the state institutions for IDD are KNI and Topeka, and then Parsons down in Parsons State Hospital. So those are the two that we have that we deal with. Again, we deal with Larna as well. Page 14 is primarily for Seward and Phenix County, but we do have HUD projects that we built back in 1983 through 1994 in Garden City and Liberal, because back then you just did not, and you still don't, have affordable housing enough of it for individuals to live. So that's what those are. And sometimes being the landlord is not a fun job because you deal with all kinds of issues. We'd love to do that up some time. We thank that, but then on the other hand, we need a place for folks to live. It works out. Organizational chart on page 15, board of directors. We do need to fill one. If you know anyone here from Stafford County that might want to serve, it could be a family member, it could be. We've had CPAs, we've had bankers, we've had family members, we've had county commissioners, we've had county clerks, we've had a diverse board. So if you know of someone that might be interested, or we have 4 meetings a year. A meeting will last an hour to 2 hours at the most. I mean, we just don't go that long. We do pay mileage, we do have a meal rate, we've got people driving, from here, it's quite a drive in Garden City. We did try the video one time, well, a couple times, from Great Bend, because we do have video set up between the two offices. They did not like that as well as the face-to-face meetings, and we only meet 4 times a year. If we do also offer for board members, we'll come up overnight if they don't, let's drive back at night. And we have a couple that take us up on that because one hit a deer, one hydroplane one night, and they decide, I'm not doing this again, I'm coming at night. And so anyway, if you know of somebody, please let them know, my information, call me. I'll talk to them about and answer any questions they have. Now Jerry had somebody, and I cannot find the name. Jerry
Very
Maddox.
nice.
Because he was on the board from the get-go,
Yeah.
and had been until that's it. And,
sorry,
I think he emailed me. I think he emailed me back. How he was doing it. And I never got an answer back, so I don't think I got contact. I don't think I got the contact information. If I find that name, I can get in touch with you. And you might. Okay. I'll look.
Okay.
Okay. There's 9 staff, including myself. There's 7 in the Garden City office. There's 2 in the Great Bend office. Page 16 has information there as far as what I was talking earlier on eligibility. These are the applications for the system that we've had from 2008 through 2018. Over the past 6 years, it's kind of settled down a little bit. You can see that really, when you look at the total persons applying for services, it still has varied quite a bit from 75 to 91, but you go back further than that, you can see some even bigger numbers. Persons determined eligible has settled down quite a bit too over the last 6 years, somewhere in the mid-50s, is kind of where we've been at. The bottom part of the page there is waiting list information. We have 4,017 individuals on the wait list as of March 12th. That comes from the state's website. Of those, 316 are from our area, our 18 counties. And when you look below that, you can see back in 2010, four individuals who were eligible applied for services to begin. They're waiting for services today. So it's about 8.5-year wait list at this point in time. My understanding, the state of Kansas legislature did appropriate $2.5 million for our wait list. So hopefully we'll see that come down a little bit. But they have not appropriated money for several years, so that wait list has grown. And you can see on the next page, we put in these numbers at the bottom. This is their page from their website. But the numbers, FYI 2018, at 9,037. That's the number of folks that were in services last year. So we put that in there so you can see the difference. And then 9,043 were in services again as of March 12th. The wait list has grown from 3,657 to a little bit over 4,000. So that continues to grow. We continue to see that, have that issue. As long as there is a wait list, I think the wait list is going to perpetuate a larger wait list because you have people that might think, when they are offering services, some folks decline. It's personal choice that you have. Are you ready for this? Do you want to do this? And some don't. But if you don't, you go off of the wait list completely, and you do not even get back on until 90 days later, then you can reapply. That puts you clear off. And the very last page is just a map of the state of Kansas. CDDOs were number 21 on that legend there, and you can see we serve the 5 counties here in central Kansas, and then we serve 13 counties in southwest Kansas as well. So we do appreciate what you've done. I think it does help our providers with what they do, because as you earlier in the packet there, you see most of the money that is paid out to them is a subsidy for their transportation and maintaining, buying fuel for vehicles. It's a hard thing fill in the blank contracts. I hate to say that. When you decide what you're gonna do, fill in the blank and execute it, and we'll send it to us, and we'll execute and send the contract. But, you know, as the relationship that we have, you know, back in, I think it's 2004, the 5 counties here had to pass a resolution designating SDSI as the Community Developmental Disability Organization in order to do this. And then the state of Kansas, SRS back then, had to approve us as the CDS. So it was a 2-pronged approval process that we had to go through with the 5 counties and with SRS. Again, it was SRS back then, in order to do this. So there's a relationship between us and you, and we do this for you. And we, again, we're here. I know the number we said was 13, but we're here today, tomorrow, whenever something happens. The other thing that we do a little bit of sometimes is we will work with providers sometimes that are having some issues with each other. We will work with an individual who's having issues with a provider or between 2 providers. So sometimes I guess you could say we sometimes play a referee type role.
Be like with Sunfire Diversified.
Yeah. Or Pathway, Res Care, yeah, those are the 3 main providers that are in the Great Bend area. But for the most part, everybody gets along pretty well. They don't like when they lose somebody, but they also know they make gain somebody. So it's just like it works. It's just, there's competition, there's choice. And they realize that. They work pretty well together.
I think you covered it.
Okay. Well, thank you again. Appreciate it. If you ever have any questions, or I will see if I can find
Yeah.
it. But if you think of somebody else or somebody, please let me know. Again, we've had CPAs, bankers, family members, and I like the fact that it's a diverse board. It's not just all, you know, this or that, and you have different ideas that come forward, different life experiences. You still have family members on there too. That makes it a good thing too. They know what it's like to be in this system and to deal with folks. So yeah, it's a personal thing. So thank you.
Mark, you have a dry drive back home.
Yeah, because Monday I had 4 counties I went to, and I started out in Finney County. I couldn't even find a place to park in the parking lot, so I had to park over by the courthouse to get to the county administration building, and it was raining. I mean, it was raining. And there was no use trying to get the umbrella out because it was blowing. So I would have probably been messing with it more. Anyway, then the drive all day long until afternoon was wet. So,
Unbelievable.
Know the feeling.
yeah. Well, gentlemen, have a good day. Thank you.
Shannon said Abby Ford. Looks good.
Okay.
Anything else? I'd like to do you good with me? I'd like to do a 10-minute executive session for all elected personnel. Yes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll adjourn.